Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Hello there, sir.
Little League Classic is over.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly boring game.
Yeah.
They were going to have it next year.
Mm-hmm.
CBA contingent.
I believe it was it Blue Jays?
Blue Jays and Cubs on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
A Thursday night.
Yeah.
And ESPN will do the game. It just won't be the broadcast team you saw last night.
It won't be Carl Ravage.
No.
By the way, Penn State students officially are back today.
Yes.
You couldn't tell by downtown or anywhere in Happy Valley being just a chaotic dumpster fire as per usual of every single parent not knowing if they turn left or right when they can't turn down that street anyway. And just, the normal stuff that goes on in Happy Valley.
Yeah.
But I'll be making my way hopefully downtown tonight to get myself some dinner because McClanahan's Meatball Mondays are back, Steve.
Yes.
And I am very excited.
Yes. And not only that, you can start picking up your Adidas gear.
There's gear all over the place.
As I'm sitting here wearing a Nike
yeah.
Penn State golf shirt. But, I don't have any appearances today except for this. So.
Steve Jones is breaking news. Steve Jones wearing Nike gear.
I mean, this was actually bought for me. So, but it's like
okay.
I have nothing today, so I don't have to. There are no other appearances or anything like that. And I was like, just take that shirt and throw the shirt on because I'm going to go play golf this afternoon at some point.
Very nice. Well, of course, shout out to our friends at McClanahan's Penn State Room, of course, for being our sponsor here on Sports Talk with Steve Jones. And Mr. Jones, last week we went through the whole offense, quarterback, all the way through O-line.
Yeah.
We, of course, went through special teams. You and Jason did. It is now time to go to the other side of the ball. To go on the defensive
The problem
side.
was I had to spend 12 minutes of the special team discussion explaining to Jason what special teams happen to be.
You did. You did have to explain that. But we're going to the defense. I want to start before we get to the D-line itself up top with the defensive coordinator, Danton Lynn. Mm-hmm. I want to hear what can you tell me about him, of course, the new defensive coordinator in Happy Valley. But what can you tell me about him here in State College?
I think he's gone about this the way I hoped he would go about it, because I know last year, and I've already related this story several times, but it's apropos what's going on here. Matt Patricia went into Ohio State, and I was talking with Paul Keels, the Ohio State play-by-play guy, who's, if I'm casting a play and I need someone to play the voice of God, he'd be the first choice. And I said, how did Patricia go about this? Pro guy, no college experience. I mean, he's been in the pros between the Patriots, the Lions, back to the Patriots. And he said he came in and he says he really walked around and observed in the spring. They put some base stuff in. He said then he decided, based on what he saw, and then of course looking at video, what guys could do, what they were capable of, and also what they struggled with. That's about what Dan Lynn did here. He put in 5 to 8 base defenses, because you have to play something. 5 to 8 base defenses. That way he could see, okay, this is how the linebackers react. This is how the secondary reacts. This is how the defensive line reacts. Okay, this player can handle this, can handle that. They really struggle with this, struggle with that. Because you want to, again, accentuate what are your positives. He's out there looking at Marcus Neal for the first time in his life. Has he seen Zion Tracy? Yes, but again, his concentration was on the Penn State offense when he was at USC. Right, so he's not going to really think about Zion Tracy. So what can Zion Tracy do? What kind of chess piece can he be? He had to look at video of Tony Rojas to get a feel for him. Because he wasn't out there practicing. He did some walkthroughs. But that's what he did. He took a long look at it. And what's helped is that you then draw upon other people systematically, like Terry Smith, systematically, this is, quote, what we were doing. And then Dan can draw from that and say, okay, there's a lot of elements there I want to keep working with. Malloy with the defensive tackles. Like, this is the system we used at UCLA. Not Dan had been at UCLA before, but this is the system we used last year at UCLA in the last couple of years, and this is what these guys are used to, and this is, and you can start integrating those parts to get there. A smart coordinator does that. You don't walk in and do square peg, round hole. This is what we do. This is our system. It's like watching a manager in the postseason, right? He is our eighth inning guy. The eighth inning guy is getting blown up left and right, because for all we know, his arm's tired, whatever, the whole thing. And guess what? You have to change. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you did in May through August. You have to change. And so he's come in, and that's how he's looked at it and putting together the system. Mm-hmm. He's tried to integrate all sorts of different parts.
Okay.
To then come up with what he thinks works best for everybody, where he's accentuating as many strengths as possible, because you don't want to sit there and say, okay, which deficiencies do we have to mask? Mm-hmm. Now, the opening game is a challenge.
Yes.
And because the quarterback, Del Rio.
For Marshall.
Right, from Marshall, Del Rio Wilson, can run. Mm-hmm. Right? Well, okay, that's fine, and he's a good runner. And so is Khalil Wilkins, the backup. Mm-hmm. He can run as well. He transferred over from West Virginia. Well, this kid can run. He led them in rushing last year. What hurt Penn State last year? Running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The run by the quarterback was one of the biggest problems that they had containing last year. All of a sudden, right, Gronowski takes off on a 40-yard run.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Iamaleava goes crazy on like 4 runs in the game.
So Iamaleava just kind of that was a different level of.
But I'm saying, but this guy can run.
Yeah.
So
former Syracuse quarterback.
So you're going. Yes, he transferred from Syracuse, and so even in the opening game, you're going to play a style, which last year was a weakness for the Penn State defense. Mm-hmm. And the Penn State defense over the years has had very few weaknesses.
Yeah.
Well, last year they struggled with it schematically, trying to stop quarterbacks from taking off and running. Now, once they finally got into the 4-game winning streak, no quarterback ran.
Yeah.
None.
But it took a minute.
Right? Kate Klubnik can run. You saw that when they beat Pitt. What was the biggest play of the game? He ran running down the sideline. Well, against Penn State, he didn't run an inch. He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And so you're going to face that challenge in the opening game, and you have to face, because that's one thing about college football that's so different than the NFL. For the most part in the NFL, the most part, barring a Lamar Jackson or something, it's pretty homogenized. Everybody really runs a lot of the same stuff.
Because they know a lot of players are going to be bouncing around, and they have to have the same general systems and structures in place. Of course, there are some teams that accentuate certain parts of the game more than others. It might be a run-based or a pass-based, but they have generally the same concept.
It's the NFL mentality. It's the NFL mentality of what you have. Sam Darnold kind of runs mostly what Matthew Stafford runs. Right? They're in the same division. Brock Purdy kind of runs what they run. Oh, are there little variations and little touches they put in? Sure. But you're not going out there and getting ready for a guy that runs the option this week. And then the next week you're facing a pro-style offense. Okay. College defensive coordinators have a tougher job in some ways than defensive coordinators in the NFL in terms of having to adjust every week to how a team plays.
So everyone's different. Every quarterback is violently different. Right. You really don't get the same style of quarterback across teams.
Del Rio Wilson is different than Jackson Smolik, who will be the quarterback that they're going to face in game 2.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're different kinds of quarterbacks.
I mean, literally on Penn State's team, you had Drew Aller and Bo Pabula. The two of them are violently different quarterbacks.
Yes.
Like, even that is on the same team, you have two different quarterbacks. Like, that's just kind of part of the game now is everyone's so different, and your approach to everyone has to be specialized for that team, which is why if you have a defense that can impose its will no matter what's going on, you're great. But very few teams can get that.
As opposed to the NFL, where a lot of it is, the vast majority of it is pocket-based. It doesn't mean Drake May can't take off and run. It doesn't mean Bo Nix can't take off and run. Now, Lamar Jackson's different than everybody else. And they bring their certain talent level to the table. I mean, Josh Allen, play breaks down.
He can run for it, he can get out.
But that's after the play breaks down. College isn't like that. You have so many different styles out there that you have to be ready for. And that's what makes being a college defensive coordinator. That's why I gave Matt Patricia a lot of credit last year. I mean, no, they couldn't. When they played Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, I mean, what did Indiana score? 13 points? I mean, Ohio State's defense played great. Right? Against the Heisman Trophy winner. In fact, they had him clocked the second play of the game. But again, everybody has their own style, and that's what makes being a college defensive coordinator a real challenge because you have to be ready for, okay, he runs. They run the option. He's a pocket quarterback. Like Cal McManus. You don't think about Cal McManus running the ball because he doesn't. He's going to be a pocket guy. Okay. I mean,
but when you face Mark Gronowski, you're like, he's going to run the ball, but you have to be aware that he's going to also be able to throw it if
Iamaleava, we already knew he could run, right? But what makes him effective is that he's a good pocket passer. He's decent. He's decent at throwing the ball on the move, but he actually can just flat out run the ball.
Long, tall, fast, and
it makes a difference. So college brings with it a challenge. Because of the styles, and you don't know which fifth-year guy is going to show up.
Speaking of defenses,
I want to get to the fifth-year thing first.
Okay. Do you want to start with Daquan Wright, Mr. Tight End, going back to LSU?
Okay. I'm going to link a lot of this to Josh Reed.
Okay.
When the 10th Circuit Court in Ohio ruled against the Colorado judge in the Wisney case, which was the blanket one. Anybody who did not have a local injunction got wiped off the map.
That included Seth Trimble, who was going to be going to Louisville. That included players like Jonathan Atwell at Texas Tech, Denzel Aberdeen at Florida, of course, as well, Josh Reed at Penn State.
Josh Reed was not in the Wisney case.
But he was not eligible without Colorado itself.
Right. Well, no, he was already eligible to play. What happened was this. When they went to the 10th Circuit in Ohio, they got the Wisney case, a temporary injunction there. And since they were in Ohio, Josh's case locally was in Ohio. And they got that case temporarily pushed as well.
Okay.
So it actually... believe it or not, I think Josh's case a couple of days before the Friday thing got that one first.
Okay.
The 14 guys, including Josh, and then 48 hours later got the Wisney case. So Josh is in limbo right now. Jackson Smolik did get a local, Jackson Kohler did get a local injunction. That's not a part of this case. So now we get to what happened with Wright.
So Daquan Wright, tight end for the Cleveland Browns, who is believed to be the first player to have an agreement to return to play in college after signing with an NFL team as a UDFA. He signed with the Eagles and then was claimed on waivers by the Browns on August 11th. He had been warming up in the preseason game for the Browns, their second one against the Bills on Saturday. But he was, quote, sidelined due to an injury, and then it was announced Daquan Wright, if he clearing waivers, will return to LSU, where he will now go to play this upcoming collegiate season.
So, the quote of the day belongs to Todd Monken.
May I read it out for you?
Please.
Man, isn't this S blank crazy? I don't even know what to say. I wonder why Lane Kiffin reached out to me a week ago. Now I know. I didn't call him back. I guess I should have.
It's so now I want to get to what to me has now become the issue in all this. And it is now, and this is legitimate for anybody that wants to go before a local judge to get an injunction. It's the fairness issue. Excuse me, why can't I play when he can play? That's going to be the fairness issue. Why is it Jackson Kohler can play for BYU and we both came in 22 and I played against him last year in the Jordan Center, but I can't play, but he can? See, I mean, this is but it's going to be a fairness issue.
Yeah. If one can play, they all need to be able to play.
Yes.
The problem is the one going to be allowed to play? And it's
now they have to. In other words, the NCAA has to go after every single one of the local ones because the Wisney case. Okay, the only local one that got wiped out was the Ohio one because the 10th Circuit Court's there, and they got that to do that first, and that's why Josh is in limbo. Because the foreign players, by the way, just so you know, all the foreign players are here.
Yeah, I know Francois Weibo, Rocco Percussion. They're here. They posted on social media. They had arrived in town. Yeah, they're going to be announced probably in the coming days, I would assume.
They went through International Orientation Day, the whole thing, and Alexander's been here for several weeks. Okay, Zivovic. So the foreign players are here, but let's face it, Josh knows what they want to do and how they want to play. If they had told all the 2022 players, no way, okay, so be it. All right, it doesn't feel good for those guys, but at least it's everybody.
Yeah.
You can't have it so he's okay. That football player can play, okay, and others can't. So Wright can play because he was able to get a local judge in Louisiana to say yes, but Stephen Daly and Kellen Wyatt with Indiana can't. Okay? There has to be a fairness across the board here where I think that when these individuals go before jurisdictions and say, that has to be one of the arguments. I don't understand. I came in the same time as him, but he's allowed to play and I'm not?
Yeah. This is a day-by-day changing topic because no one knows what to do. And at the same time, like Daquan Wright going back to LSU, part of it is LSU now plays in 11 days, 12 days?
Yes.
Like their game they're going to start playing in a couple weeks.
Right.
College basketball, if it was just college basketball, they'd have time because they'd get until November.
Right. So that's what they have. They have time.
But football, it's literally now. Like it's happening. These guys are playing in games. Some teams have week 0 games coming up in just a few days. And so if you want to go back to those schools, like it's getting to the point now where I wonder if there's going to be a player who's going to play a couple games and then it's going to be ruled that no, he cannot play anymore.
Well, Bediako last year.
Charles Bediako played a few games and then was out.
He played 5 games.
Is it going to be the same thing with football now where it's going to happen where Daquan Wright is going to play, let's say, 3 games for LSU? Spoilers, he's then booted out right afterwards, back to the NFL because of his happening. Also, I have a question for you on this note.
I don't know if I have an answer. But
I don't know if you'll have an answer, but I'm curious. Someone said, if I were an NFL GM, I would not want to go sign Daquan Wright next year because he, instead of going for the challenge of the NFL, which he had made his way as a UDFA onto the rosters, he opted to go back to college. He said, actually, I'm good. I want to go back for another year. What?
Well, I would never sign him.
Exactly.
Right? Because to me, he quit the league.
Mm-hmm. You made the NFL. You were on a roster. You were on a team, and you said, you know what? Actually, I'm going to go play back in college for a year because I think I can do better and make more money there. Yeah, you can make more money.
No, I don't
but
want
you
it.
already opted to join the professional league, which is the National Football League.
You don't want to play. You've already told me you don't want to play in the big league.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't want that person on my team.
No.
Matt, by the way, Matt Campbell has said that no, there are no fifth-year guys. He says no, the Penn State roster is set. He was asked about it the other day at his presser.
So Jack Ham's out of availability?
Well, it's interesting because Matt, Jack, and I were talking about this before practice on Saturday, before the scrimmage. And he says, Jack, you got any time left? He goes, I got another year of eligibility. I said, technically, Jack, you have 2, right? He says, yeah. He's like, because freshmen weren't eligible when Jack played.
So they couldn't play.
So we have gone from freshmen not being eligible. Mm-hmm. That's why I think Pete Maravich played 3 years instead of 4. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played 3 years instead of 4. Jack played 3 instead of 4. So he played 3 years. To then the monumental, okay, I'm taking you through life here, okay, because I remember these moments.
Go for it.
Freshmen can play. 1974.
Dun, dun.
Like, I don't know what this is going to do. This is going to be I don't know. This could be the ruination of everything. Okay? And Randy Sidler and Jimmy Cephalo were the first 2 for Penn State.
Wow.
Okay? Sidler played on the defensive side, and, of course, Jimmy played a wide receiver.
So went from Jack Ham not being able to play his freshman year to these 2 being the first freshmen at Penn State being able to play.
Right? Then, and it really started in mass with Nebraska, and then Penn State quickly got right on board with it.
Hopped in.
What do you say we redshirt everybody? Right? And then we get to a 5th year. Right?
But, Steve, I want to raise you something. What about a 9th year?
Yes.
What about Cam McCormick?
Yes, Cam McCormick. Right? But so this is how it's gone to now we're fighting over a 5th year. Okay? And when we sat down and talked about this, what was one of the first things I said? I said all the guys that played this past season that are done, that played 4 years, I said are going to ask for their 5th year.
Yeah.
I said it right away. I don't understand why, that 2 guys talking in the middle of Pennsylvania bring it up, and the people in Indianapolis, what, they didn't think it was going to happen?
No.
I mean, does anybody in that office have real world experience? I mean, I'm talking like real world, like out there. I mean, even, and I say this with all due respect. It's not because I don't know Charlie Baker at all. All right, but no offense, but like he's been in government his whole life. Well, I'm sorry. That's no offense. That's not real world experience.
No.
That's making decisions when there are consequences. Everybody else has to have the consequences, but not you. You may not win an election, but the financial consequences don't fall to you when you make a mistake. Okay? There's a problem. The financial consequences fall to all these other people out here who had no say in it. Right? Quite a job to have.
Yeah.
All right? So he is on the government side of it. He doesn't have any real world experience. This is now how things work in the real world. It just doesn't. I feel like this is like fantasy land here.
It is.
So if you sit there and you look at Wright and the others, because there are others, I think there were 15 in that Louisiana case, including a guy with the Falcons, Pyburn,
Jack
and guys,
Pyburn with the Bucks, who I had 2 sacks in the first preseason game, and then is now also, I believe that most of them are going back to LSU.
Right.
Spoiler.
They're going back to LSU.
Yeah.
Right. So that's okay. Okay. Right? Kohler only played in the summer league, so I have no issue with that. When you're only playing summer league games, I have no issue with that at all because you're not in an NBA camp. Okay? Yeah. You may be getting some money to do it, but for goodness sakes.
Yeah. It's a glorified
it's nothing. Right? So I have no problem with guys that did the summer league because it's the summer league. The vast majority of those guys do not make rosters in the NBA. So he can play. Okay. But Josh Reed, because he was in the wrong court, can't play? All the local injunctions except his local injunction, which got overturned because it happened to be in Ohio, which is where they went for it in this case. They're trying to find the friendly court to do it. They did. So he can't play, but all these other people can.
As per the judge of the day, that's how it works.
Right. I mean, Seth Trimble did not go for an injunction.
No.
All right? So he didn't go for an injunction. He's in a different category. Because, we all can do this? Okay, I'll go to Louisville. Okay. Because of the Colorado ruling. He had nothing to do with the Colorado ruling, but he was the beneficiary of it. This applies to the Wisney case, applies to those in the Wisney case. All the other local injunctions, it doesn't apply to, except for Josh's because
he was in the same state.
He was in the same state.
Yeah.
Right? And they got that group first. So he has to get another local injunction to keep him going. But the argument is going to be, and justifiably, we don't understand the level of fairness. I played head-to-head with that guy last year when he was at Michigan State. Right? And it's awesome. He gets to play at BYU. How come I can't play? We came in the same year. We played against each other last year. He's played 4 years. I played 4 years. Why is he getting a fifth year and I'm not? That will be the argument. And I would guess that the 14 in the Ohio case will stay as a group and find somebody else to say, yes, I would guess that.
Apparently Louisiana's got some good judges. That's all I'm going to say.
Now, football's a little bit different ball game.
Yeah.
Because it's happening now.
And speaking of football, Steve Jones, it is now time.
All right, let's get to the
defensive line. We're going to start in the middle, in the trenches, the defensive tackles for this Penn State line squad this coming season.
Well, the scrimmage on Saturday, the entire key to the scrimmage was to stay smart about it. It was the last time you're doing something like this leading into the season. You're now transitioning. They've had 2 days off. This is the second day off today on what's the first day of classes at Penn State. And that's why, you keep getting that merchandise at McClanahan's. But you also wanted to be smart about it as to how you went about it. And they were. Were there several people that would be in the rotation that did not participate on Saturday? Yes.
Okay.
Right? But that also, to me, there's so many guys, they're getting guys back. And when I look at something like this, it's an opportunity for additional evaluations, some of which show up here when we talk defensive line.
So there are 9 total defensive tackles, 1 defensive line player, and 10 defensive ends or edge rushers. We're going to start in the middle, start with defensive tackles. We'll kick things off with the UCLA duo, Keanu Williams, Siale Topaki. What can you tell me about the two of them coming in here to Happy Valley, listed as redshirt senior and redshirt senior plus, respectively?
Right. So there was their 5th years.
Yes.
So this is their last year. Again, the new designations are going to be freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, 5th.
And they are both 5ths.
Okay.
So what can you tell me about Keanu Williams?
Because they wanted to keep the academic part of it because, let's face it, that Matt's a believer in the academic part of it. So these two guys, Topaki's been the best defensive tackle of the group, I think.
What have you seen from him? 6'2", 326.
Just power. He clogs up the middle. He creates his own lanes. He's just. I think he makes linebackers better because he occupies people. He's just a powerful guy with really, really terrific quickness. He knows how Malloy wants to coach. Right? Same thing with Keanu. He knows how Malloy wants to coach. I think these two have been consistently good the entire time. Spring, consistently good. Okay, summertime, consistently good. Preseason camp, consistently good. And you're looking for consistency. These two have been, I think Tapaki's been the best one.
Okay.
Williams has been really good. I thought Elijah Carnell.
Iowa State transfer.
Okay. I think everybody knows he's, you've seen the reports. He's been, banged up, but it's not season ending or even long term anything like that. He was really coming on and doing well. And Alexander Nottum, Armstrong Nottum is from Oklahoma State. Same thing. They get in there and they do the same things that Williams and Tapaki can do. And when you're going, if you can afford to have a rotation to keep guys fresh, you can do that. Doesn't mean they're going to have a rotation everywhere on this team, but you can do that with this group. And then Dallas Vakalahi from Utah,
junior 6'2",
is another really good player that has missed some time in the preseason, but getting him back will be a plus because he can play. And when he's been out there, same story. I think Nottum has been really good when he's out there. Okay, when I look at Elijah Carnell,
he's been really good.
I mean, it's he's made a move from good in the spring to very good. Now, of course, they've got to get back from their bumps and bruises. So the guy I think that's taken advantage of extra reps has been Ty Blanding.
Okay. Now we have the four. The four returners to Happy Valley. Ty Blanding, the first, redshirt junior, 6'1", 301. So what have you seen from him? He's just played better. He's just played better. I mean, Ty is now up to a point where he's in his 4th year in the program, so he'd be listed as a senior now. But he has gone out there and made himself noticeable by making plays and keeping mistakes down. I thought at the end of last year he was starting to come on where you needed to consider him for playing time this year. And I thought the Pinstripe Bowl, he had a really good game, including a sack in that game, and played very well. Seemed a little lost in the mix in the spring, but now has had an opportunity to get more reps because a guy's banged up. Again, what I talk about, opportunities. Right? One man's bumps and bruise happens to be another man's opportunity. I think Ty has had the opportunity to say, hey, look, I am here and I can play. And I think he's done a good job. Okay. We have the trio now. Other returners to Happy Valley: DeAndre Cook, Caleb Brewer, Liam Andrews, all three listed as redshirt sophomores, so third years, juniors. What have you seen from the three of them? All 6'4".
Brewer made the move from offensive line over to defensive tackle, so there's been a process for him. He's done some good things, but again, it's been a process. DeAndre Cook finally came back from injuries. I mean, that's always been DeAndre's problem, and he has flashed at times. Liam Andrews has played both defensive tackle, and they put him on the outside as well. And I think he has made some plays as well, because if you notice, the other guys inside are right around the 300-pound range. Liam Andrews is not.
He's 276
right.
listed.
And so that's why you can play him inside. You can play him on the outside. If you want to go to a 5-man front in a specialty situation, he can help you there. So there's certain things that he can do that brings value to the table as to what they're doing.
And then we move on over to the 10 defensive edges, the edge rushers, the guys who are coming after the quarterback, who are holding the line. So let's start with the player who I'm most intrigued by, who we saw a teeny bit, I want to say, last season before his injury in camp, Max Granville. He's back.
All right.
He's here in Happy Valley, 6'3", listed at 252, and has all the talent in the world.
Well, let's start with this. There's no Dennis Sutton on the team.
There's no Abdul Carter on the team.
But they don't have that guy like that. Now let's get to Max Granville. He's working at home in June last year and hurts his knee. So he's out the entire season. People forget that Max is reclassified. He reclassified to play in 2024.
He's young.
Yeah. So in other words, instead of playing his senior year in high school down in Texas, he was playing for Penn State. And when Abdul Carter got hurt in the Fiesta Bowl, Max Granville, along with Smith Vilbert, came in. And Max Granville played really well in that game against Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl. You sat back and go, you know what?
He's good.
They've got something for the future here in this guy. Then he gets hurt. So how does he bounce back from it? He was limited in the spring because you're still not a year out from your injury.
Still doing the rehab process of getting him back into condition.
I think of the defensive ends, he's been probably the best of the group so far. Again, there's no deny Dennis Sutton in this group. So let's be straight here. So he's probably been the best and the most consistent of the group. And the other guy that's flashed too has been Alexander McPherson, the transfer from Colorado.
Sophomore, true sophomore,
yes,
by the way.
He's a true sophomore.
So you've got the two of them, and also true sophomore, someone we saw last year who made flashy plays out the wazoo, Ivan Kamaju as well, also coming in.
Kamaju has flashed, but I think they want more consistency out of him. Right? In other words, I think he needs to be more consistent, and then we'll see when he gets to the games where he is. Because he is. You want to talk about built, cut, whatever you want, whatever term you want to use. He's got that. He's got some quickness off the edge. He's got plenty of quickness off the edge. He's powerful. He just has to now put it together in a game. Ikenna Ezeagu.
Say jump from the young guys to the elder statesman in the room, the redshirt senior, the fifth. 6'5", 273 transfer from
I thought he
Iowa
had a
State.
really good spring. I thought he got up to a slow start in training camp, and then I feel like the last 10 days he's really started to come on again.
Okay.
And that's been a big plus because they need him to play well. And I think he has the capability of doing that.
So what does he bring to this defensive edge room?
He can get to the quarterback. He can play the run. There's a lot of things that he can do. He's a versatile player. And you need to have in a game probably a minimum of 4 defensive ends because that's a lot of chasing you have to do. And you look. I talked about the opener. You're going to have to chase that kid.
Yeah.
He can move.
And that was why.
And Ike was when they were in the 3-3-5. It wasn't the best defense for him. A 4-man front is the best defense for him. And it gives him a chance to excel. And look, Iowa State was not in a 3-3-5 every single time. It's like that's one of the. It's been interesting. I'll leave it at that.
That's another for another day.
I'm not even going to bring it up another day. It doesn't matter. He's better in a 4-man front. As opposed to a 3, because you're in a 4-man front. They can 3-man front. They can double you, right, and then release and then go to the linebacker. As opposed to a 4-man front, now
you're more one-on-one.
You're more one-on-one, and he's better at that. Jackson Ford, the true freshman, boy, I like him. I've liked him since I watched him in the spring. I'm like going, this guy's not that bad. Right, good size, can move.
6'5", 264 from Malvern Prep here in PA.
He's got a motor, and I feel like in the training camp, like for example, the one thing you worry about in training camp with any freshman is like you hit a wall. So do you plateau a little bit? And he hasn't really plateaued. Okay. I think he's done pretty well. I like him. He's a good player. A guy that's been very under the radar, nobody's talked about. Look, everybody will talk about LeVar. I got it. Okay, I got that. And LeVar does flash.
Yeah.
It's not like, boom, all of a sudden now here's a burst like, oh, geez.
And we'll talk about him in a minute.
Right, but A guy that quietly has, I think, gone about his business, and he's not the best guy out there, but I think he's better than he was, and that's Deshaun Burnett.
Okay. Redshirt freshman.
I just want to make sure
Christian.
we throw that out there. Right? It doesn't mean it doesn't mean he's playing or anything. I'm not saying that.
He's improving. Right?
He's improving. Right? And he's better. A guy to watch for down the road is going to be Elijah Reeder. The true freshman out of Bayville, New Jersey.
6'6", 210 listed freshman. That is just a 6'6" is big.
Right. I mean, you won't have Mason Robinson. Bobby Mears has been moved over to tight end. So guys like that. Aiden Probst is going to be on the scout team, but that kid plays hard all the time. And then there's LeVar.
So of course he moves down from linebacker now to the defensive edge position. True sophomore. What have you seen? Of course, he's got the LeVar Arrington piece of it of he's wearing 11. Of course, he's LeVar Arrington the second. So there's certain expectations that come in Happy Valley, but purely on the player. Moving down from linebacker to edge.
He has the burst. So you see it boom, wow. But when it comes to playing the run, he's 220 against somebody who's
an offensive lineman. You got 6'6", 6'5", 310.
Who's 310. So he has. You have to use your speed, your quickness, but you also have to overcome the hand fighting part of it. So that's what he has to do. I think for him to start the season, you will see him on special teams because that kind of athlete with the speed, quickness he has, tackling ability, so forth. You put him on special teams because you have to get him in the lineup somewhere. And there are other people at his position right now that are better than he is. All right. I mean, you just have to say it straight out that they're better than he is.
We've discussed Max Branville, Ivan Kamaju,
McPherson,
Ezeogu. We've discussed Jackson for all of them. Yeah. There's a lot of people here.
Right. And so, but he'll get on the field, kickoff coverage and things like that. That's where you'll see him. And he has time to develop. Right? He's got to get bigger. He's got to get stronger. He's playing when you're playing at 220, that is, that's not easy.
Yeah.
Because take Ike. Ike's a grown man. He's 273 pounds.
Yeah.
McPherson, he's a sophomore. He's 254 pounds. He's 34 pounds heavier, which means he can take
the beating,
the punishment of it. And can go for it. And there's only so much strength that you have to move somebody out of the way. And one of the keys, what a veteran normally has that a younger player doesn't have is a counter. Right? So there, when it's that burst off the edge, and he can make that play. Right? But you need a counter because guess what? They figure out what you do.
Yeah.
Right? And so, I mean, that's something at that spot he's going to have to develop at some point is to develop a counter, another move that you've got to be, okay, they've caught on to this, now we're going to go to this. And then when you go to that and they catch on to that, you go back to what you were doing before, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But just as an example here, and I'm not comparing the exact players, but in the recent memory, a couple years ago or a few years ago, Abdul Carter made the transition from linebacker to defensive end. He went from 6'3", 233 up to 6'3", 252. That's not 19 pounds, it's 19 pounds of muscle and of being able to take a beating. And that takes time. Everyone was real iffy when he made the transition down if he could really fully get the position. Spoiler, he went third in the draft and he looks incredible for the Giants.
But where did he start at 233? He didn't start in the two teens.
Yeah, he started with a bigger base.
Right, so LeVar has had to he has to build himself up, and it takes time to do that. And Reed Kagey's really good at that.
Yeah,
but it takes time. It's not, you don't just wave the magic wand and then suddenly he's 245.
Yeah,
right. It takes some work to do. Now the only person I've ever seen that's done it that fast is Jerry. But I mean. That's a different diet
thing. And also in the case here of Kamaju, coming in this group with LeVar. He's also like if I may, he's your 210. Let's say you get him to 230. Let's say he gets up to 230. Mm-hmm. It's not just getting up to 230. It's learning how your body moves and react and the speed you have, because like you can be 6'3", 210 and run. I don't know what he runs, but let's say it's a 4.4, and you go up 20 pounds. It might be a 4.45. Or it might go down to a 4.38 because you've got more athleticism and more power. Like, your body moves, and you have to figure out how it moves and adjust based on it. But no one's the exact same when you add on 15, 20 pounds of muscle. It takes a second.
Right. But now I want to get to a guy that is going to play a lot. That's Caleb Bacon.
Okay. Caleb Bacon.
All right. Bacon was a linebacker exclusively in the spring. Now, in the preseason, he's seen a little time at linebacker, but he's been a defensive end.
Okay. He's listed 6'4", 242 right now, the redshirt senior Iowa State transfer.
All right, and he has done very well at that spot.
Okay.
And when you look at how he plays, when watching him, I felt in watching him in the spring, it says, this guy can really play the run. You can see it. He can play the run. Well, you put him out there at defensive end, he can play the run. And he and he's a bigger, stronger man, and he can handle the hand fighting up front. Also, if you want to get clever in your defense, and you want to say, which Penn State's been successful at. I mean, let's face it, the interception in the Orange Bowl by Dennis Sutton was a zone blitz, which means the defensive end has to drop in coverage. Guess what Caleb Bacon knows how to do?
Drop back in coverage.
Drop back in coverage. And putting him out there and having him at defensive end when you've got Brzezina, Ebel, Rojas, Cam Smith, eventually the return of Alex Tash, you want to have the ability to put your best 11 guys out there. And there are going to be moments where there's no doubt that Caleb Bacon, I think, is going to be one of the best 11 guys out there. But it doesn't mean he's starting or anything like that. I'm saying, but there'll be times you're going to be in certain defenses that he'll be one of the best 11 guys to play that particular defense at that time. And Bacon, I think, is a very important piece to what they're going to do here.
Okay. And we'll discuss linebackers more tomorrow, because that is a position I'm thoroughly intrigued by, especially because of the fact that, like, we've talked about them. You mentioned Tash, who came on like lightning last season. We, of course, have talked about Tony Rojas, who's returning this year after having been out for a lot of last season. Before he was out for the season, he looked incredible. Tony Rojas is a game-changing level player on defense. And so we'll talk about the linebackers more tomorrow. But so you mentioned Bacon moving down and able to play that position off, because it's more of an edge now. It's the position the NFL has created, where you've got an edge who isn't a defensive end, isn't a linebacker, is both.
But he also can still play linebacker. It doesn't mean he's going to be exclusively a defensive end. He can still play the linebacking spot.
You can still move, you can still cover, you can still play in the middle of the defense.
He knows how to play. So, I mean, he gives you – to call him a depth piece would be wrong, because he's not. Piece. He's not. He is somebody that is an important piece for them that can handle two different positions for them where need be.
He is a wild card. You can put him anywhere, and it'll function for what you want it to be. And, of course, that's discussed heavily with safeties, especially, is where you've got a safety or a corner who's just a little different size-wise, like a Kyle Hamilton. Of course, not the same player, but the same thing of, like, he was a safety, but they could put him pretty much anywhere, and they'd make it work. And
well, we saw that with Troy Polamalu. The Steelers. Okay, he was all over the place for the Steelers. Every single time he had to, where's 43? But Kyle Hamilton, he lines up, okay, where's 14? Where is he? Got to figure it out. And the weird thing is that if you gave me a choice, and Steeler fans are going to hate me for this, but you gave me a choice between Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed, I would take actually Ed Reed.
Because Ed Reed is he is the best player at what he had to do.
And I think Polamalu was a great player.
Yeah.
But there's something about Ed Reed that was just a little bit more of a cut above to me.
I will never forget, and like I know we've talked about it, and we've discussed it when they were doing like the NFL 100 and going through like the best players, and they were like had like Belichick and co. were talking about, and he said he watched the play of Peyton Manning look him off, and Peyton Manning doing what he did is the best at it. and threw the deep shot down the left side, and Ed Reed faked out a fake out and wheeled all the way around and picked it off of Peyton Manning. And Peyton was like, I got nothing. And when you stump one of the best quarterbacks ever, there's levels to it.
Well, there are certain people that excel at the false pre-read that can bait somebody into a play. One of the best I ever saw here doing that was Alan Zamitis.
Okay.
Zamitis was tremendous at baiting quarterbacks.
I mean, you think you've got the window you want, and he's just waiting for you to let that ball go.
He ran an interception back against Craig Krenzel of Ohio State for a touchdown where he baited him into the throw. Wisconsin's driving to take the lead, and he kind of hung a little bit and baited the quarterback, picked it off in the end zone, changed the whole game. I mean, some guys have the ability to just Jair Brown was good at baiting guys. He was good at doing that. Right? Ed Reed was a master at it, and now he didn't have to do all the things Polamalu did.
No, they did different things, but
they're both great at what they did.
Yeah,
you're talking apples to oranges.
And that was the thing with Troy, where he would line up and jump over the line and sack the quarterback.
And just for Jerry, by the way, apples and oranges are fruit, and it's not part of the fruit group he eats.
So to wrap on up here with the defensive line. With this unit,
I really like the tackles a lot.
Okay,
I really do. I'm anxious to see how the ends play and what kind of pressure they can get on the quarterback. I think they've got a chance to do it. Now, I think part of this too is in the evaluation of it. Penn State's first offensive line is pretty good.
They are. So you're going against it's good on good.
Yeah, when they are doing good on good, you're like, okay, right? You make a play on the quarterback. You've accomplished something because the offensive line is pretty good, as we talked about. At the one offensive line,
yeah.
I mean, they'll need to develop more depth there, but that's the way they are, and it's there's a lot of mystery about this season for everybody across the board. If you think that the top 10 teams are going to be the top 10 teams in November,
no.
I just don't see that happening.
I think it was
because I think everybody has so many moving parts. Everybody does. Hey, if LSU was so great, why do they need this kid to come back and play for them? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
What's LSU ranked? I don't even know what they're ranked. I don't even know what anybody's ranked except Ohio State's one, I guess.
In this season, in terms of the rankings,
LSU's what, 8, 7, 8?
The AP top 25. LSU, as things sit, is 11th.
11th. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if things fell right, you'd make the college football playoff because that last spot would go to the Group of 5 team. Okay. And you sit there and look at it and go, if you're so good, you got the quarterback from Arizona State, Sam Leavitt, who played against Penn State when he was at Michigan State. You got Leavitt. You got Lane Kiffin. Why do you need Pyburn and Wright? Because they know they're not good enough yet.
Yeah.
They know. It tells you everything. They know. Okay. Why did Nate Oates say okay to Badiako last year? Because he knew they weren't good enough.
Well, they weren't. They didn't win.
Right, but I'm saying, but he knew.
Or James Najee going back to Baylor, or all of it.
Najee goes back. He did nothing for them, but they made the move because they knew they weren't good enough. See, that to me is one of the tip-offs on all of this. Okay, as you know. As to how people are going about their business. I mean, Kohler was an obvious one going to BYU. Okay, he's from that area to begin with anyway. That's fine. But BYU with the Bansa going to the NBA, I think and they lost Saunders who went to the NBA and it was hurt anyway. I think they got right back.
Yeah.
Right, but they knew they weren't good enough. So, yeah. We're allowed to take them, so we do. So my point is, the top 10, that's not going to be the top 10 in November.
I have an exercise.
Nobody knows.
let's go through last season's top 25. The top 10. But my point.
I already know one team ended up unranked.
We're going through the top 10, and that's going to be part of it. So, number 1 last year preseason, Texas, of course, came 12th. We're not top 10 at the end of the season.
Did not make the playoff.
Of course, Penn State, we don't have to discuss that one.
Yep.
Ohio State was 3rd at the start of the season, of course, was 5th at the end of the season.
Right. Did not win the Big Ten championship.
We then
and were eliminated.
Mm-hmm. We then have number 4, Clemson. Spoiler.
Penn State played them in the Pinstripe Bowl and beat them.
Mm-hmm. We have 5th, Georgia. They came 6th. Split there.
So they're about where they.
6th, Notre Dame.
Okay. Didn't make the playoff. We have 7, Oregon. They were 4th. Made the playoff. Right. Got run out in the Peach Bowl by Indiana. Run out.
Run out of the Peach Bowl. Number 8, Alabama. They came 9th. Barely made their way in, but they made their way in.
They beat Oklahoma, then got run out by Indiana in the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Number 9, LSU. Nowhere near the top 25. We have number 10, Miami, 2nd. But you see my point. We have maybe half the teams.
But Miami actually was the 10 seed.
Yeah.
And ended up, so they were started 10th, and they actually held their spot. They were the 10 seed in the tournament.
And then, of course, you make your way down to, number 20, and at the start of the season was Indiana. And they were, of course, number 1 at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But the point is, you never know. Things change constantly.
Look, you take a month.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take a month now to really sit back and go, okay, now the dust is starting to settle.
Mm-hmm.
A month in, everybody has at least played somewhere across the country a conference game.
Get me to Halloween, then we'll talk.
Well, no, I want to get to October 1st.
Okay.
And at that point, you start to figure out who actually is good and who isn't. It doesn't mean that 2 good teams don't match up against each other in October or November. One has to win. Hey, that's just the way it is. One has to win. No ties anymore. So, but at the end of the opening month, you should have a decent idea actually who actually is good.
Mm-hmm.
Who really is not quite what people thought they were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep going back to the 5th year thing. If you think, like, hey, we've put this together, we're great, we're this, we're that. And LSU, they've got everything. They've got money, they got guys, they got all these transfer, all things, they got Lane Kiffin. Well, why do they need these 2 guys?
Great question.
Why do they need the 2 NFL guys? I thought they were already really, really great to begin with. Right? But now we need the Cleveland Browns guy. We need the Tampa Bay Bucks guy. Let's be honest about it. This is a mess.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.